The truth about accepting cash payments, what you should know. So I'll be very, very, very transparent with you guys. When it comes to accepting cash payments, this is something that I've done very few times in my life. Even when I first started off in the notary business, accepting cash payments wasn't something that I did much. Reason being is when you're accepting cash, you're opening up a lot of doors for mistakes to happen. One of the big mistakes that you'll see happen when people start to do cash is they'll tell you, yeah, they want to pay cash in person. And then even when you get there in person, they'll still say, hey, I don't have cash on me. And then once they hit you with one of those, especially after you complete the job, that's just opening up a whole different can of worms. Because now, if they don't have cash on you, but they don't want to use Zelle or they want to use Cash App or Venmo, now you just open up a can of worms that didn't have to be open. So, for example, with me, I always try to make sure that I one charge upfronts, and then two, I always have backups with me. So what I currently use now, what I currently recommend everybody using, are these things. So I'll go ahead and list them out here before I go into more about the truth about accepting cash payments. So I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, what do I currently use? So I currently use Square. I'm not saying you should use this. I'm not getting paid for many of these things, unfortunately. But I would use Square. Here, let me just make it neat for you guys. What you should use. What you should use. So one, you have Square, and then you have Stripe, then you have Authorize.net, then you have your bank. And then through your banks, of course, you have like Chase, you have BOA, you have Truist, you have Wells Fargo, you have Navy Fed. And when I say bank, basically it's just like the merchant services that these banks have. They allow you to do it through them. So what I was told by a coach before in the past is when you're doing like higher ticket things, especially like when each one of your clients are like 4,000 and up per client, you kind of want to get away from using things like Square and Stripe. Reason being is because you'll probably start running into a few problems. But as of right now, I'm using Square. The only reason why I'm still with Square now is because I think once I got over about $100,000 a year, it was about $100,000 a year or like $100,000 in 6 months. I don't remember which one of those it was, but they allow you to renegotiate your processing fees and your terms. So now they gave me a lower fee, so I'm saving more with Square. That's one of the reasons I'm with them now. And the second reason I'm currently with them is because when you start doing more and more business with them, I think after about 4 months, between 4 and 6 months, they allow you to do Square loans. And I was using Square loans back when I first started my business to help with marketing and stuff like that. That's the only reason I'm with Square. But if somebody's new and they're getting into the notary business, I wouldn't recommend you going straight to Square. I would recommend going number one with your bank because that's probably the safest way you're going to get. And then I would probably look into doing something like Stripe because with Square, it's extremely hard to win disputes. And even when I've had all the documentation, the service agreement, their ID, them signing off, if they still go back and charge it back, I still lose the disputes. On the other hand, when I was talking to a couple of other entrepreneurs, they're using Stripe. They say that at least they have like a shot. I don't think it's like a 50% shot, but I think it's at least 60%. So with Square, it's a lot harder. It's like there's a 95% chance that you're going to lose that dispute. So even if you go on like Google and go on Reddit and stuff like that, you'll see other people talking about the same thing. Square doesn't really fight for you, even when you have the documentation. So if you were to use a third party, I would just say, and you were stuck between Stripe and Square, you might as well just go to Stripe. I'll save you the headache. I'll save you the stress right now. Just take your behind a Stripe, or better yet, take your behind to your bank and use the merchant services they have. Because I'm sure once you hit a certain level of income with them also, they'll allow you to cut down your processing fees. So that's what you should use right now. The reason and the truth about cash payments is it's very dangerous using them. One, because when you show up at location, clients can easily pull oh, I'm sorry, I don't have cash on me, or can you wait right here? I'm going to go to the bank. And you don't want to do that. That's going to just waste your time. So number one, they'll hit this, oh, I don't have cash on me excuse. Number two, if anything happens, so for example, let's say if clients cancel and you had them pay cash, what clients will do, and like I've explained in other videos, is they'll wait till you get to the location. They'll wait till you get to the door, knock on the door, and then they'll text you and say, hey, I'm sorry, but I need to cancel this. So you've wasted your time, you've wasted your money, and you've wasted the potential to fill another client into that slot um on this client because you didn't take any money. And because you're charging up cash, it's not like anything can happen to the point where um it's not like anything can happen to the point where they can pay you. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're paying you cash and you show up at that location, it's like, okay, cool. They just don't have to pay you. And that happens. That happened to me several times. I've driven over an hour to somebody's location. I got to their penthouse in Miami. I walked all the way up to the door, and then they canceled on me. And because I was charging cash, they just don't have to open the door, and I don't get paid. And I could have had another client there. So that's another thing. Another reason why I say stay away from clients, because stay away from cash payments because clients cancel. Another reason is because the name of the game is charging up front. I hear every time I talk about this on TikTok, time and time again, everybody's like, oh no, I just want to charge when I get there. Cool. When you've done hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of transactions, you let me know what you think is better after that. After it happens to you a couple of times of people canceling on you over and over and over again throughout the years, I guarantee you your behind will start charging people up front. So charging up front is harder. I'll put that down so you guys can see that. So yeah, another truth about the accepting cash payments is charging up front is harder. You're not able to charge up front. You have to wait until you're there. So you can't get your money. And for example, let's say that something happens within the let's say that something happens with that job, and the reason that the job couldn't be completed was because of the client's fault, like something on their end. If it's cash, they just don't have to pay you, period. I don't know why it's hard for people to understand that, but they don't have to pay you the money even if something was their fault. On the other hand, had you have charged the client up front with the tools that I'm showing you right here on the side of the screen, then the discretion is up to you. As long as you have your service agreement at the time of if you're booking the appointment, as long as you give them the service agreement, they read it and they sign it off, and then you charge them, then what you pay them is at your discretion. So for example, you go to a client's location, they don't have the documents ready, the fault is theirs. And in scenario one, if you paid cash, they could just be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the ordeal is done. You can hope that they pay you at least 50%, but when it's not cash, they don't have to do that. When the discretion is up to you and you've already charged the client, now it's up to you on what you want to refund back to them. You understand what I'm saying? So you can choose whether you want to give back 50%, 70%, 20%, whatever you have in your service agreement. But once you use these cash payments, it's taking away that choice from you. It's taking away that choice from you. Another thing why I say the truth about cash payments is you have to walk around with change now. Because let's say you sign up to the client's location and they have change. And this is just a safety thing on top of that. Let me go ahead and add that in there so you guys can take a screenshot of this. When you go to the client's location after you've charged them, I don't know why they do this, but even if you tell the clients what the price is going to be ahead of time and you show up to their location, they still might not have the correct change or the correct amount. So now you have to carry around change and cash with you. And in the case of an emergency, who knows? God forbid you get robbed. Now you got all that cash with you. When you could have just done everything by yourself. My bad, y'all. That's TikTok going off on the side. Why you could have just did everything by yourself and just got money. Just got your money up front. Makes no sense. Next up, I would just say that to limit your cash payments as much as possible. Let me put this here for you guys. And just stray away from doing this. I know when you first start off in the industry, you just want to make it as easy as possible to get a client. So what you'll do is say like, yeah, I accept cash. Yeah, I accept Cash App. Yeah, I accept Venmo. That's cool. But the last thing I would say to accept is cash. That would be like all the way at the bottom of the tier. So I'll put cash right down here. And then above that, I'll put like a Venmo. And then I'll put Square. And then I'll just go up the ladder. And then I would end up with one of these, with your bank and your merchant services being the thing at the top. So then this will be where like the Stripe is. So all the way at the bottom is cash. That's how I treat that. You want to stay away from that as much as possible. But yeah. And then one more thing I can tell you about that is when it comes to taxes too and regulations, I guess the only good part about that, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, is it's harder to track how much you're making, but then that could work against you too, because now when you're doing your books, you have to remember to input all that stuff with cash. But anyways, that was the truth about accepting cash payments. Those are the things that I think you guys should know. If you want a one-on-one, go ahead and click on the Here it goes right here. Go ahead and click on the booking link down below. You can book that one-on-one. This is a free notary starter kit. If you guys want that as well, helps you out with all the tools you want. And then there's also the mobile notary bundle, mobile notary mastery bundle down below. It has the phone scripts that you can use to call, the email templates that you can send out, and also the list of 300 signing services that you can sign up for so you can help get recurring business. But anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.